Previously on the Nigerian wedding story.
Muson Center, and the 2 tires in front went off.
The moment we opened the cooler like this, the rice had turned to two. It had spots.
Everybody, first of all, turn off the cameras. We don't want this out there. And then we let her sit, and she was still. The wind took off the canopy where the bride and groom were supposed to sit. The wind took off the canopy where the guests were sitting, and it was disastrous.
Like, maybe would you guys want to do the toast? And the next thing I heard was, fuck you too. I'm like,
but man, COVID, that COVID did not kill the events industry. I don't think anything can kill it again.
From family compounds to billion naira industries, we've traced the journey, seen the chaos, celebrated the beauty. Now, the final question. What comes next?
So what does the generation want? What do they want? Really, it's about making sure that you answer to what their needs are, anticipate it. And this brings me to understanding your clients, understanding the position you play in the event industry. For me, it was about reinvention, rebranding, innovation, freshness. So it's about understanding the DNA of your client, of your business, understanding your brand, essence, and then begin to build, position, and always ensure that you are top of mind.
Weddings are timeless. Weddings are forever. Weddings are not going to stop anytime soon. There are different categories of weddings. There are people that are just going to go to the courthouse and get married, and then there are people that will wait 1 year because they want to have a grandiose, all-out throwdown. And it's always interesting to see because it's just so clear in these clients' minds that I don't want limitation. I want 5 bottles of champagne on every table, and I'm having 200 tables. So you're doing it by the numbers. If I want 5 bottles of champagne on every table, I want 4 bottles of whiskey on every table, I want 10 bottles of wine on every table. I mean, that person has clearly planned that, I want this wedding to be a showcase of the joy that I feel, and it comes across. But before you know it, the event is over, and all these numbers, so instead of them being bottles and numbers, they become empty bottles on the floor. These were bottles that we were stacking in cases, and now they're empty memories of a great event.
I would say the Gen Z guys are the fortunate ones. Yeah, God has been good to us too, yeah. But in terms of having to get it done with a snap on, the Gen Zs are very fortunate because they'll be able to do so much in little time. And I'm sure they'll be able to, make more because, AI is tech. And, beyond the human capacity to be able to think to a limit, of course, AI is taken to another level that you can easily attain, greater heights, having to use, those. So I think the Gen Zs, they're going to do more, yeah.
I never thought of, I've never thought of where the industry would be in 10 years' time. But now thinking about it, maybe technology, making very good use of technology. So we don't even know where this is going to lead to. Maybe in the future, it's just we're going to be punching our fingers to get information on my hand to use my phone. I don't know, really. That's the honest truth. But for now, AI has a lot of potentials that honestly beats me every time. So I'm glad for AI, and I want to believe that there's going to be more in technology that's going to help the industry.
What makes a Nigerian wedding truly Nigerian?
Nigeria is, all weddings all over the world are great, but we are known for our weddings, and it shows. It shows in the budget, it shows in the design, it shows in the choice of cocktails, where we're customizing, the couple's name are Demi and Remy, and we're saying the D-Ray. They want to personalize everything. They want the entire wedding experience to convey their joy and how happy they are, and it's a great thing to be a part of.
I believe it reflects how deeply we value family
how deeply we value community and status, basically. Like a Nigerian wedding is both a celebration and a statement. It says that we belong, we've done well, and we honor our roots. It also kind of like reveals our belief in abundance. That's what I feel. We don't do minimalism at all. So when it comes to love, we go all in. When it comes to showing ourselves, we go all in terms of the culture, the color, the music, the emotion. We're very expressive set of people. I believe it's an extension of who we are, a people, an expressive community, and we're very proud at that. We're very, very proud at that.
The traditional rites that bind families together, the blessings from elders, the moments two families become one, the music that makes everyone move. These are the foundations, what holds even when trends change. But some things need to go.
We are really just an interesting nation, but I think I always say, and I always worry that maybe we focus too much on the weddings and not on the marriage. And I always say to people, just remember there's life after the wedding, so that when we're getting caught up, and that, when you talk about social media, that is the challenge of social media. I've been at a wedding where both the bride and groom were just on their phone. And I'm like, it's your wedding, guys, but they're busy. Everybody's just concerned about what's going on Instagram. What are they showing? So, there's that, that bit of it that's a bit worrying. People just are so concerned about what it looks like and what are people going to say, rather than enjoying the joy of the moment.
When our mothers started, they maintained the cultural, the traditional aspect of it. Then, like when I got married, you as a bride, you come out in sober reflection. But today, that is faded, is gone. Some brides will dance so much that she won't even take note of the in-laws looking at her. She might be a good girl, but the appearance, the dance, the extras will make them have maybe an impression that will last long, a negative impression of her. So those things needs to be corrected, and we are trying to. Another aspect of it is the dressing. Believe you me, in every 15 brides, you will see just 2 that will be decently dressed.
There's a thin line between enjoying your wedding day and being in a full editorial production where you're wearing 50 clothes, you're not even enjoying or looking at your guests, and everything ends up in a reel of 30 seconds and your day is gone. So I think we need to step back and reevaluate, why are we getting married? Is it to set up and create content that everyone watches and the next day they don't even remember who we are on social? I think people have gotten caught up in the whole show that is creating BTS and all of that for a wedding. And it shouldn't be. A wedding should be a time for you to design a look for yourself, wear it, have people compliment you, savor the moment, enjoy your reception, see guests that have come from far and wide to celebrate you, not a time to shuttle between the dressing room and the stage 15 times because you want to, let's all calm down and go back to the drawing board.
For me, it would be for a lot of the bride and groom that we see these days to understand the value that is about the marriage and not just the wedding. I see a lot of weddings these days. It's more like it's being played to the gallery. Maybe not the ones we plan, just watching what's going on, out there. It's more like people are playing to the gallery, wanting to just show off or outdo the other.
Weddings have become more of a performance than a partnership for some people. And I also feel that social media has a way of just defining what perfect looks like. So you find couples often feel pressured to meet an imagined standard. And I think there's a danger in that because it pretty much just shifts focus from the marriage to aesthetic. And I always try to remind people that I get access to talk to, the wedding is one day, the marriage is a real journey.
We need to just pull back and realize what a wedding reception, a wedding day, a church service, the serenity of the perfect, perfect love, or if it's the Islamic joining, what the imams are saying. We need to actually experience a wedding ceremony and enjoy it, not decide that you're going to, between you and your stylist, and they want you to hang on the chandelier and you too. A wedding is not the time to do that.
The spectacle has value, but when it overshadows the purpose, something's broken.
In a way, the glamorization has given couples unrealistic expectations. It has made them think Pinterest. And they are not putting the Pinterest look with the realism of what the vendors within their city and within their budget can afford. With all of this, I'm saying I would stand for people doing weddings and celebrations that are unique to them, as opposed to the glam or looking to trend. If you do something unique to you, you invariably trend.
Legacy isn't just about what you build. It's about who continues it. Across the industry, veterans are training the next generation, teaching not just the craft, but the resilience.
When you say lasting legacy, or what do you want to be remembered for? I want my brand to be an all-running one. When I mean all-running, I mean it's like a continuous business entity. I want it to go beyond me. What I want the brand to stand for is good service delivery every time. And once you can do that, you sustain that business. For us, catering business is very individualistic, but we're trying to grow out of that so that the business can run itself and still deliver good service that can sustain them.
Yes, I want my name written there. Everybody would want their name written there. I think I'm still there for now, but yes, I want that legacy. To say I started it and I did very well. Grind started it, stood still, he conquered, he visited and he conquered. Yes, I want my name written in gold in the event industry.
So, some of my memorable, I think the first one is the day I anchored a triplet girls engagement. It was awesome. Those sorts challenging, but I think I love it. And the second one is the day, of course, I've done so many parents, then at the end of the day, hosting their daughters' engagements. I've done I've lost count, at least nothing less than 30. Hosted their engagements and in turn, hosting their daughter or son's engagement. But I think the most memorable happened about 2 years ago. I knew I was going to host the engagement of my couple, the daughter, the bride's parents were my couple. But 2 days to the engagement, a colleague, an alaga, called me and said, I'm with my client, and your name came up that you did the engagement. I said, no, you are mixing it up. I hosted the engagement ceremony of the bride's parents. He said, no, they are insisting. So I spoke with them and I discovered that I was their alaga. One was done 30 years ago, as at that time, another one 32 years ago. So on that very day, history was made. The bride's parents, my couple, the groom's parents, my couple, and now their children, my couple. I think that is the most memorable so far.
The day I anchored the wedding of someone that I anchored our first birthday, I was extremely proud. The parents were insistent that I had to do the event, and I don't regret doing it. The girl came out, gave me a gift and all that. It was really, really nice. And you can't ask for more than that.
I already achieved being top 100 event planner, one of top 100 event planners in the world, which was unbelievable for me. Like, very humbling, I would say, because in my mind, I'm like, definitely I am going towards the right direction and I'm not going to stop. So I'll say I want to be remembered as that lady that created jaw-dropping experiences in the world and also created an impact in the event industry. I really want to leave a legacy whereby Nigeria is one of the best destinations to have events in the world.
What does the future hold?
Right now, the next big thing, I will just tell you to hold on and see and wait for it, because it's actually big. Like I said, everybody is evolving, so you can't underplay anybody's idea or whatever anybody is going to bring. But from my own end, it has not finished. I'm just starting anyway. I'm just starting. So expect a lot.
5 years from now, what? I can just sit down in my room and be like, my wedding, I add my planner, add a caterer, add a DJ. I'll be like, pay the DJ. Do you understand? It's so seamless that I can do that all in my mobile. And I'm pretty sure 5 years later, I will probably have, a plethora of other features that would make this so seamless. So yeah, 5 years from now, we're living the best life.
One thing I do know is change is inevitable. What we just need to keep on doing is to just ensure that we do not lose our essence in the bid to create something new all the time. But of course, we know technology is doing a lot. It's going to make the industry better. It's enhancing the industry. So creativity, innovation, reinvention, rebranding, never forgetting your end goal. The end goal is what? To dominate the event industry. End goal, to be the all-inclusive event company. End goal.
The Nigerian wedding industry will adapt. It always has. From family compounds to luxury halls, from simple ceremonies to billion-naira productions. One thing remains constant: our ability to celebrate love loudly, proudly, and unapologetically. The pioneers of this industry built something that raised the standard. They have created opportunities and shown the world what Nigerian celebrations look like. Proved that our culture, our joy, our way of honoring love deserves its place on every global stage. The Nigerian wedding story isn't finished. It's still being written by every couple who chooses forever, by every family that celebrates them, and by every vendor who makes it possible. At the center of it all, one thing endures: love.